Well, good morning from the ridge.
Good morning.
A little bit of a different coffee chat this morning because had some storms roll in last night.
And we're not in Kansas.
No, but it sure felt like it.
All right.
So we're gonna take an assessment of some of the wind was up to 80 miles per hour in some areas.
Yeah, I don't think we got that high, but
I don't know because I saw those trees. But yeah, we thought we'd take you guys around with us on our first look. I mean, clearly outside the kitchen window, I saw quite a bit. So I guess let's show them the obvious.
that stuff was on the porch. Some extra planters and a trash can, which we had emptied. Flower pot didn't make it.
Make sure it's holding up its rose flag.
They're close.
I don't know what to do with this, but the corn severely struggled. I don't know if I can pick it back up and support it somehow, or if it's a loss. Not quite sure. And this is just looking out the window. We haven't even gone that way yet. But clearly, you can see what else happened. Yeah.
You know our luck with those things. I actually put some blocks on there. Like I thought, hey, we're gonna be good to go. I did have to run out at one point and empty, and I kind of propped up the one side, and then the other side decided to.
Yeah.
So.
It looks like it's full of water, actually. Let's take it out.
Yeah.
Actually, let me pull up my boots.
And we did, for those of you that have suggested before, right? Because you've known our ongoing saga of these shelters. I had the pool noodles in the corners, and it did not help it.
Wanna go swimming, baby?
You're about to.
I know. Maybe. It's heavy.
Undo that Velcro right there.
Where?
By your hand.
Right here?
Yeah.
There she blows, Capitan.
I'm not fixing this one.
We can't go without a pop-up.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna go buy a better one.
Can't afford a better one, baby. We're stuck with the cheap ones. Oh, looks like we got a rip. I mean, out of curiosity, let's see if I can get it to stand up. I mean, honestly, babe, I think it just bent. Oh, yeah, she's a little broken. Yeah, it's this one. So it looks like only one bracket, actually. That might not be that bad, baby.
Okay. We're trying to show these beautiful people. Look, she's trying to get in work mode.
Of course, we got.
Said this is.
We were stuck inside yesterday for.
Yeah, we've. You know, if you haven't watched, go back to the main channel and see us getting all the. This is as far as we can get, or we've gotten, anyways. We've got metal staged. Out back. Gotta watch my tying off jobs. So we've got the metal. We went a while back and bought some used metal. Guy had a whole bunch of it, so we've got that. That's our plan.
All of it for like $300.
Something like that. Yeah, we ended up getting it was a lot. It loaded the trailer. Still have some 2x6s. One of those is actually still a really good one, but then we ended up, I don't think we had mentioned that, was we got 6 more of those 20-footers off the call cart, which is 70% off. And other than them being dirty, I don't really see why they were on the call cart, so we couldn't say no to that.
Come back.
Fight in the jungle here.
I'm just trying to save my corn. Look! Stay. It's just frustrating because you put in so much work into your garden and stuff, and Mother Nature just has other plans. But I think if I can get them to stand up, maybe I can save them. All right, let's see what else damage might have been done. I mean, I think all the tomatoes are fine. They actually look really good in here. As far as like the zucchini plants. Oh, hey, we got some beans. Ain't no spelling beans, but we definitely have green beans. I think they're done. Oh, you guys, look. All the zinnias are starting to bloom. Uh-oh. I need my 7 dust. See, even though we've had some damage, the garden can always make me happy. Come on, babe. All right. Well, let's go back over and get back to our normal coffee chat. But so far, I think that looks like that's about all the damage that we had. Thankfully, thank God. So, all right, back to our previously scheduled programming. Yeah. So, I took care of those Japanese beetles. Ain't no way they're still in my flower glory. Eating the beans. Today we're eating the beans, not spilling the beans.
Right?
Yeah, so, I don't know, yesterday for me, even though it was storm day, like, analysis paralysis day for me. Because going into 4th of July week and weekend, I gotta look at everything that needs done before we leave for Tim's at Ridge Life's for Freedom Weekend. And there's a lot. There's a lot to do. And if you think about everything all at once, then it becomes overwhelming in your brain. At least it does for me. So that's kind of where I was at yesterday, and just kind of needing to refill.
Well, we've been watching the weather. I mean, I know that's the story anywhere you're at right now, is how good or bad or whatever. And it's one of those, we knew just as soon as we'd get everything set up, it would start raining and shut us down. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, can we take care of some other things? You did some work in the kitchen.
Oh, I did a lot of work in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I made I did a big batch of dill pickle relish with all of our own cucumbers. And then Swami and I made grape jelly to add to our jelly repertoire. And a lot of baking, a lot of cooking. Made an amazing loaf of bread. So today is going to be a mill day for us.
Yeah, that's the plan. Is I'm back to being worried, concerned, right? With all this rain that we've got, did those logs just suck it up like a sponge? All we're looking for are the 2x4s that we need for the purlin strips to be able to put the metal on the roofs.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna start with the covered porch side.
Yes.
Because that is the shorter, should be a little easier to get on. But then also, we know we need, so with this side, it's gonna be 2 pieces of metal. That's gonna be fun. We don't have metal long enough to clear the whole span, and we wanna use what we already have instead of going to buy new.
Yeah, because this is a build on a budget.
So it's
right?
gonna be, we'll do a short layer on the bottom and then overlay the long layer on the top.
And yes, we will use butyl tape in those connections.
Yeah.
We have it already because we pick it up at thrift shops when we find it. So it's not that big of a deal to, put that on. But yeah, we're shooting for 2x4s. Anything beyond that, we'll be happy with.
Yeah. Because we want to get this done, but at the same time, we're kind of sitting in that boat, like you said, was we got to get ready for Freedom Weekend. We're excited about it. I need to get into the squatch. We need to lighten a load of a bunch of stuff that we still have in there from Tennessee, really. Right. Stuff we bought over there that we just shoved up in that storage bay, and it's not the easiest to get to. It's kind of why a lot of that stuff is still in there, but yeah, we need to get that pulled out. And
got clothes. I have tons of merch to press. Kind of still waiting on the Freedom Weekend DTFs. They got delayed again.
Yeah, that seems
not
to
a happy
be
camper.
the saga, which we knew better after last time of not waiting so long.
And so we didn't.
Yeah, and we didn't, but we had talked about it for probably a week. of, hey, we need to order, but we wanted some opinions. So we sent out some group messages. Hey, what do you guys think? This is what we've drawn up. And we got them ordered. And normally it's only a few days, but something going on with
I don't
the
know.
UPS
I spent
shipping
a strongly
right now.
worded email last night, so we'll see if we get any response back from them today. We're just hoping they get here on time. It will be the last thing that we do before we pull out, if they come.
Yeah.
If they don't come, it's just wasted money on our part and wasted DTFs.
Well, I mean, we really don't have a choice but to wait. I mean, right now they're scheduled to be here the day before we're going to leave. So not the end of the world, just means that'll be a later night for us, going through prep and all that stuff. If we have everything else done on it, then kind of no harm, no foul, no big deal. But
it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to look at a different DTF provider or what that looks like. I don't know if it's on the part of UPS or the part of the DTF company. So, but
well, it seems it's the shipping. It's UPS.
I think it's both, because they have a ship out promise if it's received by a certain time. So I don't know, but anyway, have all the merch yet and koozies for Freedom Weekend to press, and then some other DTF jobs that we need to do, and of course the packing and all that. So just there's a lot.
Yeah. And if we don't, I guess I'm going to throw this out there. So the plan right now, obviously, is we're trying to save where we can with this build.
Well, we have to. We don't have the money.
And so it's one of those that we need to get the 2x4s out of it. But if not, then nothing else will happen with this until after Freedom Weekend.
Right.
Which even then, I think even if we get the 2x4s milled up with what we have and what we need to get done in the next couple days, prepping to be gone and that kind of stuff. And once again, they're calling, I think there's a chance of storms again today.
Storms this afternoon, yeah.
And it was, man, that one yesterday, guys, it was like this right now, right? Just blue skies, sunny, looking gorgeous. And within 20 minutes, we were in torrential downpour and the sky was black. It was insane of how fast it moved in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that poor corn. I'm just looking over now.
I know. I don't honestly think I'm going to do corn again.
Yeah.
The time and space that it takes to grow. We had one dinner. 3 years I've done corn now. We've had one dinner out of those 3 years.
Yeah.
That we actually had the corn make it.
Trying to do it in such a small batch.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of times, like corn in the fields, right? They have each other to lean on. They're not able, I mean, your outside edges can fall over, but typically it's not as bad. The wind's going to come from the outside to the in. But trying to do it at a small scale it's not producing enough for us to justify doing it.
Yeah. And we were talking to, I think next spring. Okay, so looking at next year's garden, right? We are going to be having so much of our time going into the new house build.
Yeah.
And the tear down of the tiny house, as well as, the new house build, that I'm not going to have time to dedicate to as big a garden and as much food preparation and preserving. So I think next year I will greatly scale back the size of the garden, which I think this year we're gonna make out pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to have way more than enough to cover us. Something's got to give when you're building, and I think that was a part of my stress yesterday. Was I didn't really get a break. I don't get the break. Like, we've been working balls to the walls on this, and then the minute we stop, I have to start editing, and then the minute I'm done editing, I have to cook, clean. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that downtime, that brain break, to where, like, yesterday came And I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to cook and bake and leave me alone. Like, I needed that time to just kind of recoup and recover. So then, of course, nothing gets done out here. So fortunately, I have an amazing man that did the majority of the cleaning so I could bake. And it was so funny because he had done dishes. Well, we'd only had one meal, I think. I don't remember what it was. He come back and he's like, "Oh, the sink's full of dishes." I'm like, welcome to my world. And then like 5 minutes after he mopped yesterday, he was complaining about, there's already dirt on the floor. Welcome to my world.
And the thing was, it wasn't even from us.
No.
It was from Maya. Because she was out running around, and then she would come in and, you know, getting stuck in her paws. And she won't wipe her feet like normal people. And
Yeah.
she's rude.
And, you know, we've got some big plans for the new house. We kind of, sort of, have locked in on somewhat of a floor plan with our own modifications, of course.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that we kind of know for sure is it's going to be a pet-free zone. Charlie and Callie are either going to, which we've talked about for a long time, going in the YouTube studio or the barn, or both, or we're not sure. Maya is Jenna's dog. We just babysit her. So if it's raining, she's going up with Jenna, but we are too busy taking care of ourselves, let alone cleaning up after pets. We've chose not to have a dog for that reason.
Yeah. And the cats, I mean, I know a lot of you haven't even heard about Callie. We had to split them up. Not because they didn't get along, it's because she didn't like the litter robot that we got. And so she's actually up in the fifth wheel with Jenna, and Jenna's like, all right, I'm done with this cat. Like, we've had them since they were just little kittens. And so it's hard to say, hey, do we rehome them? Do we do something like that?
Oh, I don't think I could ever rehome them.
Yeah. And so truthfully, I think they're going to become, you know, we're going to call them barn cats, right? But they're going to be in a shop that's sealed, and which will give them plenty of room to run around and play and do whatever they want to do.
It's the pet hair.
I
know y'all, and I know probably 3/4 of you guys have animals and pets, and you call it fur glitter and what. That's not me.
I think we're just getting grumpy in our old age and
I
tired
think
of,
so.
And it's like, to have, you know, obviously the outdoor animals, that's totally different, right? They're outdoors, but as much as we do in a day, then have to come inside and be like, man, now I got to clean up after this animal that's been running around in here all day long. Because there's pet hair everywhere, there's dust, there's dander, there's, you know, which is typical house cleaning things. But we're also at the age where we realize we can control that situation and not have pets in the house. And honestly, I know we're not upset about it. Like, for them to be,
we're not.
For them to be out to where when we want to come in at the end of the day and we're all gross and nasty and we, you know, go in and shower and clean up, we can not fight for your spot in a chair, worry about what Charlie's knocked off of what shelf at what time.
Oh, you guys, we were sitting outside the one day and we were working on this. And that's when Gail and Frank and
Sue were here.
And her and Swami were out on the porch of the tiny house. And they heard it, but they didn't know what it was. I come in, we're gross. We are sweating. We've been working our butts off. We go in, there is spaghetti sauce all over the kitchen. Broken glass all over the kitchen. It's on the fridge. It's on the island. It's under the island. It's on the new cabinet.
It went into the laundry room, into the living room.
Charles, because you all know we got those really super high shelves that go around the kitchen ceiling, and we store our excess pantry up there. Well, Charles thinks it's his personal promenade, and he decided to push off 3 jars of spaghetti sauce from a height of what, 8 foot?
At least
8, 9 foot?
7. I can reach it up there, so I don't think it's 8. I think it's...
The crazy thing was, only one of the jars completely exploded. The other 2 jars somehow not only did not break, the seals didn't pop.
Right.
They were perfectly fine. But it was just kind of one of those where we just, it kind of reminded me of Christmas Vacation. I know, wrong season, but hear me out, because this is where my brain went. When the neighbors are trying to clean up after Clark Griswold broke his gutters and the gutter ice flew into the neighbors and they're having to clean up, and then it just kept going. And her frustration as she sat there on the floor crying because things just kept happening, that's where my brain was, right? I've just worked my butt off outside. I'm exhausted. I'm dehydrated. I'm tired. And now I have to scrub my entire kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not fun.
No. No. So.
And the other thing, with the way that, like, and I know a lot of you have talked about that too, was, just letting Charlie out. The thing is, and we fight him every time we try to go in and out the door of him not coming outside.
He's always trying to steal out.
And there's times that he's gotten out. And we're like, whatever, okay, fine, you're out. And then he freezes up. And he starts meowing and crying until you have to go pick him up and carry him back inside. And then he spends an hour cleaning his paws because he had dirt on him. Like, he's been an indoor cat. And that's why, like, one, we don't want to just put him straight outside.
No.
One, they've been inside their whole life. But I think to put them in the shop, which they'll serve a purpose because they both have proven that they're good mousers.
Yeah.
And Callie being in the camper because she doesn't have Charlie to play with
has gotten fat.
Oh my
Garfield
gosh.
fat.
Yeah, she definitely could use some exercise. So
yeah,
that's kind of the plan with that, is because the shop's going to be up in order for us to do the tiny house, tear down and then the new house build.
Yeah.
So they're gonna need a place to go anyways, because we've already deemed it with the Squatch.
No pets in
There was no pets. Even I think Maya came in one time when we were working on it, and then she put paw prints all over your like fresh paint or something, and we're like, yeah, no, we're not.
No.
We're not getting all this. Plus,
we love our animals, guys. We love our pets, but we are not those delusional people that think their pets are their babies or their children. They're pets. Now, can they mimic some human emotions? Absolutely. But no, we're just not them. If you are, kudos to you and keep loving on your animals. But that's one decision that we've made. I don't think it makes us bad people. You look at the way people treat their animals now versus 20 years ago. And I honestly think it's due to the horrible direction that society has gone. People spend more time online. They're not getting human interaction. And then when they do, they don't like the human interaction. So then they take that on with their pets. I just, and maybe someday we will be like that. In this stage in our lives, we are not.
right.
I get more resentful when I go to put on a brand new set of leggings and I literally sit down to put my socks on and I stand up and I'm covered in pet hair. I've invested in every kind of lint roller.
Oh yeah.
We sweep. Anyway, don't get me started. But anyway, that's where we're at with that. But I think it's good to have these plans because we're doing a lot of talking, knowing that this is going to be our forever home. And what do we want in it? And we know there'll have to be compromises, but what are some of our deal breakers? It has to have this.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is we're trying to do this without compromise, really, because this is our forever home, and we're building it the way we want it.
But also mortgage free.
Right.
So
I mean, we're limited on a budget. Yes. Like only so much is going to be able to be built. We get paid once a month. So, that money has to carry not only our necessities, but then the
our
build
daily
and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're still we've been plotting and planning with trees of, what can we use? Which oaks are we able to take down and use them for something viable in the house?
And when you have a sawmill, you start seeing trees in a different light. Like, I look at those trees and I'm like, man, I'd like to mill that tree.
Yeah, a lot of people they'll look at him, and it's funny, she's done this for a long time. Ever since we talked about getting a sawmill, right? And then we got one, and now everywhere we go, like, people will look, right? And they're like, ooh, it's a really healthy tree. It's got a lot of branches. It's healthy. There's leaves everywhere, right? Or they measure it by height. They're like, oh, I bet that's 80. Or my wife, no, she's like, how many board feet can I get out of that? Like, it doesn't matter where it is. I think the only time that I really see her kind of like, she'll lose the wind in her sail, because we'll be somewhere and she's like, oh babe, we should, see about getting that tree. And it's 3 times the size of a tree that'll fit like around, right? I can only have like a 21 inch, 22, something like that, a round log to fit on the sawmill.
And our goal is not to clear cut. Like, we've had long conversations about which trees are we leaving and which trees are we going to open up so they get better light so they can grow better.
Yeah.
I don't want to clear cut. We clearly need to remove where the footprint is going to be, or ones that may be detrimental to the new house build. So we're definitely seeking that out, looking at that, assessing the situation, assessing the direction that we want the house to go, how the trees are going to impact that, the views, all of those things. We've built enough on the ridge that I think we're both going into it with a lot more knowledge, a lot more practicality, a lot more been there, done that.
And we're looking at doing our first version, really, of doing the sonotubes with the kind of post and beam.
Doing things more better.
Yeah. More permanent and more in there. I mean, that was a big thing. I've seen a lot of the comments coming, about with the tiny house, and the fact that we did put so much time and effort and all that into it, and we did, but the truth of the matter is it's not built for longevity.
No, it was how quickly can we get this up to get something over our roof.
We did really good work on it, don't get us wrong. And
well, some things we didn't. Like right now we're struggling because the bathroom is falling apart. We'd started that bathroom when it was still just going to be a Jake's place. And there's a leak somewhere. We cannot find out. But the whole entire floor in the bathroom needs pulled up and replaced. It is so soft that I'm afraid we're just going to go boop.
Yeah.
But we're stuck. Like, I don't want to put money into it, but we need a bathroom. So,
yeah, we're going to have to do maybe not a full disassemble, but a pretty large disassemble on it, because we got to pull the vanity back out, because we did have that one water leak from behind the vanity.
But this isn't it.
Right.
And
but I got underneath there and I looked, and then our thought was a drain. It could even be, even though I don't know why it's doing it now and it wasn't doing it before, but we put that on the post blocks, the deck blocks, not post cemented in the ground.
Yeah, they're just
so
literally
if that's settled
on.
It may have separated from the house, and it's enough that I can't see it with my eyes, but clearly there's a crack somewhere that's allowing water in. Now there's no evidence down the wall. That's the crazy part. Like, so where it's coming in and how it's getting underneath the linoleum I got underneath the house 2 days ago? Yes, 2 days ago. And we had put Reflectix down as our vapor barrier and insulation before we did the subfloor. And I literally had to cut that open because it was holding so much water. I actually probably need to get under there with a knife and cut it completely out, just to let it get some more air. But yeah, we're gonna have to at least a minimum, because we still have some time yet, guys. Like we said, the shop's got to go up before we can start any of this, and then possibly looking into, well, we for sure need to get some more work done on the studio, but this outdoor kitchen is gonna be
so important,
very important.
And there's even things like we're thinking about with like tearing down the tiny house. Instead of storing the click-lock flooring that we bought for there, we're just actually gonna take it and install it in the YouTube studio because we don't have flooring in there yet. So I mean, like all of those little things, like could we utilize in other structures so that we're not storing everything?
Oh yeah, because we will save everything single thing that we possibly can.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work in the new house, it will work on something else. So it will get put
absolutely.
up. It's gonna get stored. We've kind of talked about a little bit of ideas, even in the, that's kind of where the shop comes in, is okay, rack systems on the sides of the walls that we can take wood and stack it up there instead of it being outside uncovered.
Yeah.
Or even just a lean-to off one side that allows us to, that we can use for something else later on, or it just becomes our permanent wood storage. We don't know. Like, those are things that we're trying to factor in.
And there's going to be a full bathroom in there. So like
in the shop. Yeah.
In the shop. So we'll be taking the shower unit out, and that will go bloop, directly installed into the shop. Because we knew that we wanted a bathroom in the shop.
Well, yeah, it was gonna at least be a toilet and a sink, like a half bath. But now,
because if he gets grubby, dirty, whatever. I mean, we are gonna have the outdoor shower. Wait to see those plans for here. But so a lot of those things we're looking at reusing in other places. But I guess we could sit here all day because this is what we do. We sit here all day and we just talk about all the things that we could and want. But we got to get this out because we need to jump on the mill.
Yeah.
I think they're calling for storms around the 3 p.m. time. So that'll be when we actually jump into the YouTube studio and do some projects in there that we need to get done, which I definitely need. But sorry for the unconventional coffee chat this morning, but I didn't hate it. Y'all get to see it firsthand. So thank you, and we will probably see you from Freedom Weekend.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.